I'm a 22-year-old woman who has recently found herself in one of the most challenging situations of my life. My relationship with my ex-boyfriend, who is 34, was far from perfect. In fact, it was quite the opposite. For almost 3 years, we were together, but our relationship was plagued with problems. It took me a long time to gather the strength to leave him a few months ago. The decision wasn't easy, but it was necessary for my well-being. Not long after ending things with him, I discovered that I was pregnant. This news came as a shock because we had always been careful, using condoms consistently. Having children was never part of my plan. I'm still studying and working part-time, trying to build a future for myself. The thought of becoming a parent at this stage in my life was overwhelming. After a lot of thought, I made the difficult decision to give my baby up for adoption. This was not a decision I made lightly, but it felt like the best choice for both me and the baby. However, my ex and his family did not take this news well. They were furious and began making my life miserable. They wanted me to keep the baby and were adamant that I should raise it. I tried to compromise by offering them the option to keep the baby themselves, but I made it clear that I would not be involved, except for providing child support if needed. Given that I'm still a student and only work part-time, my financial contribution would be limited. Unfortunately, this solution was not acceptable to them. My ex expressed his desire for us to get back together and become a family, while his parents insisted that I should abandon my studies and focus on being a mother. Their demands were relentless, and they resorted to calling me a monster and hurling other hurtful accusations my way. It was emotionally exhausting to deal with their constant pressure and insults. Blocking them from contacting me seemed like a viable option to regain some peace in my life. However, they were not easily deterred. They started showing up at my home, insisting that I couldn't just cut them off when I was carrying their child. They involved other family members, creating a larger circle of people who were against my decision. To make matters worse, they took their grievances to social media, publicly shaming me on Facebook. This invasion of my privacy was deeply distressing. I felt trapped and utterly exhausted by the situation. I just wanted it all to end, but finding a way to make this situation work seemed impossible. I reached out to Reddit for advice, hoping that someone out there could offer some guidance or support. The outpouring of responses and support from the Reddit community was overwhelming. People from all walks of life shared their own experiences and offered words of encouragement. Their kindness and understanding meant more to me than I could express. Taking their advice to heart, I made some significant changes. I blocked my ex and his family from contacting me and decided to take a break from social media to protect my mental health. I reached out to my mom, someone I hadn't been in close contact with while I was with my ex. During our long phone call, I shared everything that had happened. We both ended up in tears, and she expressed how worried she had been about me. It was a relief to reconnect with her and feel her support. My mom offered to let me come home for a while, and I gratefully accepted. She and my dad even offered to pay for a hotel until I could get back home to them. This gesture meant the world to me. I needed a safe space to figure out my next steps. With my parents' support, I began looking into my options. The first step was to contact my school and inform them of my situation. They were understanding and provided me with information on how to take a temporary leave of absence if needed. Next, I started researching legal options. Finding an attorney who could help me navigate the adoption process and protect my rights was crucial. I wanted to ensure that everything was handled properly and that my ex and his family couldn't interfere. Emotionally, I needed time to process everything. The constant stress had taken a toll on me, and I realized that I needed to prioritize my mental health. I sought counseling to help me deal with the trauma and anxiety caused by my ex's family. It was important to me to find a therapist who specialized in issues related to pregnancy and adoption. As I began to take these steps, I felt a sense of relief. Knowing that I had a plan and the support of my parents made a significant difference. I started to see a glimmer of hope for the future. Deciding to give my baby up for adoption was still incredibly difficult. The emotional weight of that decision was something I would carry with me for a long time. but I knew it was the right choice for me and the baby. I wanted my child to have a chance at a better life, one that I couldn't provide at this moment. Through it all, the support from strangers on Reddit, my parents, and my newfound therapist gave me the strength to keep going. I learned that it was okay to prioritize my needs and that asking for help was a sign of strength, not weakness. As I prepared for the adoption process, I focused on self-care and healing. I spent time with my parents, rekindling our bond and finding comfort in their presence. Slowly, I started to rebuild my life. I knew it would take time, but I was determined to create a future where I could thrive. I also decided to share my story more openly, in hopes of helping others who might be facing similar struggles. Writing about my experiences became a therapeutic outlet, and I found solace in knowing that my journey could offer support to others. Looking back, the road was incredibly challenging, but it taught me a lot about resilience and the importance of support networks. I learned that sometimes the most difficult decisions are the ones that shape us the most. Giving my baby up for adoption was a choice made out of love and the desire to provide the best possible future for both of us. As I continue on this path, I remain grateful for the strength I've found within myself and the unwavering support of those around me. And my story is a testament to the power of perseverance and the courage it takes to make the right choices, even when they're the hardest ones to make.